Elder Scrolls Skyrim build explanation video. So I did one of these a while ago, but it wasn't 100% updated. Now, when I say a while ago, it was like 6 months ago. And then I believe I quit recording this game and I played a little bit longer. So I'm here in the Mages Guild. I'm in the middle of the Mages quest line, and I wanted to just kind of give sort of an end game, I guess, update for this character that I had worked on. So when I played Skyrim before, I did a lot of cheating and hacking and stuff, and my first ever character was totally real, 100% right when the game came out with no expansions. And then later on, of course, since you're on PC, all you have to do is tap the tilde, and then you can open up a console command and add whatever you want in there. But I decided when the special edition came out last year that I would start no mods, nothing, totally pure, I guess, and it was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun doing it. The other big thing is that I would also play, if I could find the system here, oops, wrong one, settings, okay, if I would also play on legendary difficulty, which also was not out when the game came out. So legendary difficulty pretty much is just a complete like slap in the face. It makes it where the enemy's health is immensely higher and your health is immensely lower, or I think you just do way less damage, your enemies do way more damage. So I wasn't really sure how to go about legendary at the beginning, but I'd always wanted to make a character that ran around and just stabbed, and that is it. And that is exactly what this character does. So at first, I didn't actually have this invisibility spell, whatever it is that I'm using right here. I think it's an alteration. That's detect life. That's not the one. Oh wait, that's not the one I'm wearing. It's illusion, right? Yeah, okay, invisibility. So this is an expert level illusion spell, which means you have to get your illusion up, which I believe I did with one of these. There's a couple of these you can just spam. I know, like, detect life is really good. Spamming that is awesome for getting alteration up, and that's good to get a lot of levels. And when you get a lot of levels, you can prestige stuff and then obviously get more level ups. As you see here, I have 100 alteration, so I can prestige that whenever I want, or whatever it's called in this game, make the skill legendary. But anyway, let's get more into the actual skills I was focusing on. So of course, alteration was pretty important, and mostly because of this guy right here. So I have 4 perks, and I will probably dump them into this, but blocking 20% of a spell's effects is really important on legendary difficulty. It'll be even higher. You want magic resistance, you want some kind of resistance, and of course being able to cast this, and then I think probably that one for half. I'll probably go for that. But anyway, this was mostly the goal with the alteration skill tree. I just haven't filled it in yet because I'll probably make it legendary and then do it again. Enchanting is really important on any character that you do, honestly. I mean, mostly you want this one where you can put 2 enchantments on the same item. Everything else is awesome, but that's really the most useful one. Obviously, smithing will be good, so you can get arcane blacksmith, and you'll want to be able to create dragon armor. I mean, dragon's just some of the best armor. If I scroll on this way, I got one-handed to 100 just by hitting people with the dagger. I haven't put anything into here because nothing boosts daggers as far as I'm aware. I don't dual wield, whoops, so I don't do any of that. But armsman was pretty good because I do twice as much damage, so that's pretty important. Archery, once again, I have no points in here. It's probably a good idea to get this, but I don't use my bow too often. Light armor, because I'm not getting hit since I sneak everywhere, it doesn't go up very much, but if it did go up more, I'd get that. And I'd get this one, and then I'd probably this one, so you're not slowed down, obviously. And then I think matching set would be good. Pretty much anything in the armor that you're wearing, this would be nice. I mean, stamina regenerates quicker, that'd be okay. And 10% chance to avoid all damage, that'd be really good too. But like I said, I hardly take any damage when I'm sneaking anymore, so it's kind of pointless. Obviously, I have filled in the sneak tree, I believe, completely. Yep. Mostly, the important thing here is this one, 50 sneak, Assassin's Blade. Daggers now do 15 times the normal damage, and I'll get to that in a second. Lock picking is pretty useful, but I haven't put anything into that. Pickpocketing is pretty easy to get up over and over. I've prestiged that once, I believe. So this is good just because it's a lot of fun when you're sneaking around. You can pickpocket the swords right off of people. and that makes them pretty much useless. More importantly, though, well, yeah, you can pickpocket their swords, but this is equipped item. So what this means is you can actually take their armor off of them. So that makes them pretty much useless. Even at this level that I'm at, level 63, with all my maxed out gear, I still have a really hard time one-hitting people while I'm sneaking with all my stacked extra damage. It's really hard to one-hit people with armor on. That's just what Legendary does. So that's why I have this one. This is really important. If I ever prestige this again, I have to make sure I get 100 before I go do anything, because it's amazing when you're doing bandits and chieftains and all that, when you take the armor off, you just kill them in one hit. Speech is good if you do a lot of buying and selling. I've never actually focused on the speech skill tree, but anyway. Skipping past illusion, like I said, invisibility, so I might get a few more of these. Mostly this was just sort of the quiet casting. You really want this one. All spells you cast from any school of magic are now silent to others. This lets you continually recast invisibility without messing up your sneak. So that's basically all of it. I think I'm heading back in a circle now, yeah. So those are my skills. I'm just gonna once again say the most important thing is going to be 100 enchanting. For alteration, if I don't get this up higher, magic resistance, that's very important. Smithing, obviously, for dragon armor. If I keep going, sneak for this one, assassin's blade. Pickpocket to take equipped items off of people, and then finally illusion so I can silently cast my spells, which is useful for, once again, pretty much anybody. Those are pretty much required to do this as successfully as I have done it. As for my items, Dark Brotherhood gear is extremely useful at the beginning, and you're going to need these. Backstab does double damage. Yes, that stacks with Assassin's Blade, so I do a total of 30 times the damage when I backstab people. So if I'm sneaking around, all I gotta do is sneak hit them in the back, and my blade will do 30 times the damage. Now, once you get that smithing thing that will allow you to enhance magic items, you can enhance the Blade of Woe, which I've done here to Legendary, which does a total of 88 damage. Now, if you multiply that by 30, that's how much damage I'm doing to people when I backstab them while I'm sneaking. I also have a Dragon Bone dagger, once again upgraded as much as I can. Now, you'll notice the Blade of Woe and the Dragon Bone both do the exact same amount of damage. You may be wondering, why do I have both then? Well, I use this one because it takes 16 points of shock damage, and this is useful against some dragons. For some reason, this just slaughters them. But truthfully, I don't use this dagger that much. What I'm more keen to using is Mehrunes Razor. Now, this is kind of a cheap cop-out kill. Hits have a small chance to instantly kill. This is for bosses that I can't take armor off of. It's also for dragons. It's just for Draugr Death Lords. And what I'll do is I'll make a save and I'll go up and I'll whack them with this thing as much as it takes until they finally die, and I'll usually end up taking damage. The truth is, in this game, if you notice, I have 350 health, but mostly my points are in Magicka, and I maxed out 200 stamina just so I could run more. But on Legendary difficulty, you're going to get one shot, basically. And anything that isn't going to one-shot you, it's going to two-shot you, which means you're going to need an immense amount of health to where you can just get 3 shots, probably 600 health with the armor that I have. So I could just get to the point where I'm just getting 3 shots. So in other words, health doesn't really matter with this particular character. What's more important is making sure that you stay invisible and you don't die. So that's really why I don't really use the Dragon Bone Dagger too much. I don't use my Ebony Sword of the Blade too often either, because the damage is pretty low, but I have this just in case I need to finish something off, I guess. I mean, it does fire damage, so that's kind of cool. But Mehrunes Razor, which is by that really horrible evil quest, that quest line that's required to get this is really important. When I do the apparel, I just really have a whack load of rings that, once again, I used enchanting for. So I have Frost Resist for my ring. I really wish you could put more than one ring on. We have more than one finger. I have a Sneak Ring, which isn't as big of a deal anymore, but again, because I have Invisibility. Then I have Magic Resist, and I also have Fire Resist. So this is 46% of the damage is reduced if it's Fire or Frost. This helps immensely with dragons when they're using the Fire Breath, and that's about it. Once again, if someone's going to come up and whack me with a Magic Fireball spell, it's probably going to kill me unless I can max out my skill tree and then get this and then get these two on. But the thing is, magic resistance has a cap. I don't remember exactly what the cap is. So if I have these two on, which is at 20%, then if I have my 20% skill tree, then that puts me at about 60%, and I think it caps out at around there. So if I have my skill tree at around 60% and then put one of these on, that might hit the cap, which means putting both of these on is pointless. I'd be far better off with one of those. I don't use shouts too often because they reveal my position. I have a lot of the stuff I need to sell, like the Croesus thing. I need to go put that on the thingamajig. But anyway, more importantly, dragon scale armor. So this is light armor. It's 188, worth a whack load of gold, and this reduces my illusion spell cost, which is my invisibility. Magicka regenerates quicker, so I can cast my illusion spell before it runs out again and not have to worry about being visible. Dragon scale boots, so this has my fire and my frost resist on it. You'll notice I'm missing lightning resist, so I probably need to go get shock and probably replace that with one of these rings. I think I had one and accidentally sold it. Then my helmet, which increases my magicka and makes restoration spells for healing, costs less to cast. And this is great because, once again, if I'm out here sneaking, you know, that guy, let's get to where he can see me. Okay, let's just get over here. My sneak is maxed out, so it's, there he goes. Okay, nope. Okay, so if let's pretend he can see me. So if I cast this, obviously he can't see me. And the way with my magicka regeneration and how many points I have, this will allow me to obviously silently cast any amount of invisibility as I need, and also I'll be able to heal. When you have sneak at 100, that will allow you to crouch when you're pretty far away, and that'll make enemies kind of look for you, so that's really useful for running away, because if someone's chasing me, I can just run over here, and then I can sneak down, and they can't see me anymore, and then I can, again, go invisible, I can heal up myself if I need to, and then I can go pickpocket the armor off of them and then kill them. So it's pretty much 100% invincibility, unless you royally screw up. I cannot one-hit dragons, unless they're regular dragons. I cannot one-hit dragons with this method, so if I'm fighting dragons, like legendary dragons, any of those, it is very difficult to do well. Like I said, I usually have to push F5 and then just keep reloading to save until I kill the dragon with this thing. But that's pretty much the sneaking build. I'll put this I'll have a link to the playlist of my journey creating this, because I have like over 100 videos of this Skyrim playthrough, so if you want to take a look at that, kind of see how it works in action and see a couple of videos of me getting to that point, because it was a very difficult journey getting to level 63 on legendary difficulty. That was a lot of fun. I don't think I'm ever playing on legendary again. But if you want to see any of that, I have a video, or I have a playlist in the description. It'll really show my whole journey. I'll have other videos in there somewhere that have older kind of build updates, so if you wanted to see where I was stuck at. I mean, I think my last update I was still wearing glass armor instead of this dragon scale, so that's kind of fun to go look at if you want to. But that'll be it for this video. This was a really fun guide. I do in fact have a bow. I guess I should talk about that. I have a Daedric bow, and I don't use it too often, but obviously I have dwarven arrows. I have no points in bow damage. I've upgraded this a little bit. Once again, shock damage seems to just be pretty useful, so I don't know. But anyway, I'm not going to be making a whole lot more Skyrim videos. I think I will probably go through and clear out a lot of these quests as I get more bored as time's going on. And mostly because when you have the special edition of Skyrim, it's a new game on Steam, which means all the achievements are back. And I'm missing all but 2 achievements for Skyrim, because every time I try to get those 2, they're glitched. So I'm going to try to get them all on the special edition so I can finally say I've completely 100% Skyrim. Which I have done many times, because this game is just a lot of fun. Not as good as Oblivion, but Oblivion has its own issues. So anyway, that'll be it for this video, and I'm not sure what I'll be uploading next here. I just wanted to make this for fun. Oh, I guess I should mention that this guy has the Shield of Ysgramor. He's my Kahjiit buddy, and I put him in full decked out dragon scale armor. Once again, full resists and all that. He's pretty awesome. Most of the time, if I'm sneaking, he will in fact screw me up, so I'll tell him to wait. I mostly use him as a pack mule, but it's not too bad doing this totally on your own. But most of his use is a pack mule more than anything else. He's also a good distraction for some enemies. Sometimes they'll get distracted on him, and I can go backstab them. So that works out pretty well. But anyway, that's Karjo. He's a pretty cool guy, and that'll be it for this video.